Now, I ain't one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speak.
Wendy Williams and her pettiness, honey, I am living for it. Sharina Hudson was in the Ferrari Jaguar switching 4 lanes, top down screaming out, money ain't a thing. Girl, Wendy was like,
"Not on my watch. Not on my watch."
Wendy Williams played her own game of Operation Repo and was like,
"Mine."
Her petty level has kicked it up to overdrive. Reports are showing that when the Daily Mail released pictures of Kelvin and Sharina living the good life and Sharina driving around in that $215,000 Ferrari, Wendy lost it. And the next day, she called a dealership in Connecticut and had them take it back. My source tells me that Wendy hired a forensic accountant to comb over all of Kelvin's expenses from the rooter to the tutor. Kelvin has been making purchase after purchase after purchase, tricking off Sharina with Wendy's money, and Wendy said enough is enough. Kelvin had 48 hours to get out of her Caucasian home, honey.
"You're not getting any more filet mignon? Get out of my house."
So while they're combing through information, y'all know I did a little bit of digging myself. You know what time it is. Inspector Chronicle. Now, Kelvin's most priciest purchase for Sharina, aka Nikki, was on December 22nd, 2016, and that was the Morristown estate that he paid cash for, a whopping $765,000. Now, 5 days later, on December 27th, Kelvin took out an equity line of credit for the property in the amount of $573,750. Now, people pay for homes in cash and take out a home equity line of credit for tax purposes. It helps you get a bigger deduction when tax season comes around. Now, the gag is when you buy a house, you have to list whether or not you're married for legal reasons. And what does the information for Kelvin Hunter say? It says that he's a married man. And guess who wasn't living in the house with this married man that he allegedly bought for his unmarried mistress? That's right, his wife, Wendy Williams. Guess who knew nothing about this house until it was reported online? That's right, his wife. Now, the other gag is he got the house financed by the same bank that financed Wendy Williams' house. Lord have mercy, y'all. Let me clutch my pearls and gather myself. Now, I guess he wanted to go to familiar territory, wanted to go to a bank where they already knew his name. Messy. Wendy bought her house in 2009 in her name only. Now, in 2012, she added his name. In 2014, she took his name off. 2 months later, she added his name back. And finally, on April 17, 2017, she put the home in the name of her LLC, which is Stony Live LLC. Well, on that same day, Kelvin put the name of his Morristown estate in his LLC, which is Morris T LLC. Adding an LLC protects the couple in times like this. Hence, the reason why Wendy is able to kick him out of the house. The LLC belongs to her. His name isn't on anything anymore involving the house, so Kelvin gets the boot. Now, Wendy's divorce documents state that they've been having problems for at least 6 months, but we all know it's been going down a lot longer than that. Now, Kelvin's car that Sharina was driving, which is a $215,000 Ferrari, was leased in Kelvin's name from a Ferrari dealership in Connecticut. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the Ferrari dealership, but there's only 2 there. Now, Wendy was still his wife at the time when the lease was done, and it's nothing for her to make a simple call and cancel the lease. Simple and plain. Now, the gag is, out of all of the cars that were there, out of all of the cars that Kelvin had, why did she choose that one? Because that was the one that was for Sharina. That was Sharina's favorite, and Wendy wanted to be petty, and she has the right to be petty, especially if they've been doing all of this with her money. Now, the real gag is, if Wendy wanted to take every single car that Kelvin had out there, she could. You know why? Because she's the wife. What Wendy did was a power play. That was to let Sharina know your lifestyle has been brought to you today by the letter W for Wendy. And Wendy can end all of this with a simple phone call, boo-boo. Don't get it twisted. Now, Kelvin probably never in a million years saw any of this coming. Wendy has been playing that docile female that's just been letting everything go, sweeping everything underneath the rug. Child, I'm telling you, she tripped and fell over that crap underneath the rug. She bumped her head, and when she came to, she was like, I'm not putting up with this. Wendy contacted her sister, who's an attorney. That sister came, and she let her know, honey, we need to piece all of this together. Let's get this worked out. Wendy got that forensic accountant, and they're starting to piece everything together. And Wendy is not liking the fact that she's going to work every day, even when she's not feeling it. She's going to work every day, and Sharina is sitting at home relaxing off of your money. And I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't like it either. So for Sharina to think that she's still going to continue to get Wendy's money and Kelvin's going to get alimony, she got another thing coming. Now, when it comes to adultery and splitting the property 50-50, the law in New Jersey says this. Typically, a judge dividing marital property in a New Jersey divorce will not consider infidelity when deciding who gets what. In rare cases, however, adultery could indirectly affect the equitable division of property. Courts can consider dissipation or a waste of assets. So if one spouse spent a large portion of marital funds on an adulterous relationship, this might have an impact on how a judge divides assets between spouses in a divorce. The innocent spouse may receive a greater amount of assets than the cheating spouse in order to make up for the misused funds. This is where it gets juicy, y'all. A court could also consider adulterous behavior that was part of a pattern of behavior so extremely wrongful that ignoring it would be unconscionable, outrageous. While judges have the power to decide exactly what extremely wrongful means in this context, behavior shocking enough to affect property division would generally have to be something along the lines of attempted murder of the other spouse. The stress and turmoil that this whole situation and adding a baby to this has brought Wendy could have killed her and taken her out. I don't think any judge in his or her right mind would award Kelvin any type of compensation considering the amount of money that he has spent on Sharina over the past 11 years. Now Kelvin is realizing that his meal ticket is gone, and I'm gonna tell you, once a man realizes that, it's usually too late. It's when the woman no longer has interest in him, when she's disgusted by him, when she doesn't even want to be in his presence. And I believe that's exactly where Wendy is with this situation now. Kelvin issued an apology yesterday via People magazine, and he was over there pleading like James Brown, honey. He said, 28 years ago, I met an amazing woman, Wendy Williams. At that time, I didn't realize that she would not only become my wife, but would also change the face of entertainment and the world. I have dedicated most of our lives to the business empire that is Wendy Williams Hunter. Child, he could take that last name out of there. We ain't checking for his last name anymore. A person that I truly love and respect unconditionally. I am not proud of my actions and take full accountability and apologize to my wife, my family, and her amazing fans. I am going through a time of self-reflection and I am trying to right some wrongs. No matter what the outcome is or what the future holds, we are still the Hunter family, and I will continue to work with and fully support my wife in this business and through any and all obstacles that she may face living with her new life of sobriety, while I also work on mine. Then he goes on to say, please give me and my family privacy as we heal. Heal? You have a baby. You still are living with this woman. Ain't no healing, bitch. Now, Kelvin, you know, working for the Wendy Williams show, your wife ain't never gave privacy to nobody. Never have, never will. So we ain't giving you nothing. Wendy wants us in the business. She wants to put you on Front Street because you've embarrassed her. She's not holding this. So we in the business, honey. We in it. And speaking of being in the business, I know you and your feelings, Kelvin, because some dude's been checking out your old lady, and I know you've been watching the Wendy Williams show.
I mean, I was minding my own business last night. I was reading my book, you know. I love to read. And all of a sudden, my cell phone rings, and it's DJ Boof. Asking me out for dinner. And just at that time, I got a knock at my door. My foie gras and ting were delivered. So I'm like, boof or food? Boof or food? No, both, right? So I set up my meal while I told Boof, I'll see you over the weekend, pick me up on time. Then I get back to reading my book and my phone rings again. No, it wasn't Boof, it was Charlemagne. Charlemagne wanted to take me for dinner. So look, so he says the night and he says the time and I said I can't go, I'm going out with Boof for dinner. Hold on. So Charlemagne says, well, I know, Boof, why don't we both take you out? So I said, look, I'm reading and I have my food here. Why don't you call Boof and you also, did he call you, Boof? Yeah. All right, good. So, okay. So I've got a double date.
Y'all, they did all of this to piss Kelvin off. I know he is somewhere highly upset. Girl, Sharina, you might as well put on your helmet, child, because they say he like to beat on women, honey, and we don't want nothing to happen to you. Anyway, what I need you guys to do is leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this Wendy Williams situation, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Before I end this video, I wanted to tell y'all about a company called Ash Kicking. Now, y'all know Miss Chronicles would not promote a company without doing one of those thorough Chronicle Speaks investigations, honey. And Ash Kicking definitely passed the test, y'all. Make sure you visit ashkicking.com for the best 100% all-natural home fragrance and beauty products, honey. And use my code Chronicles at checkout for an extra 15% off just for you. Also, make sure to check out XMoisture, which is 100% organic moisturizer that destroys all your skin problems. Eczema, dry skin, rosacea, you name it, they got you covered. They also have before and after pictures. Check them out at www.xmoisture.com and tell them your girl Chronicle sent you.
And before you go, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, like this video, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.